But in a recent episode, we talked about automated manual transmission becoming like more and more of a thing.
Yes.
BMW have announced it. KTM have announced it. We've got E-Clutch from Honda, which is similar in intent, let's say. But we had official news just a couple of days before this festival that Yamaha have announced their Y-AMT, I think it's called, so Yamaha Automated Manual Transmission. And this has to be the biggest trend in motorcycling at the moment.
That's what I said though at the time, wasn't it? That I think it's one of those things where all the brands are going to be like, oh no, I don't want to be behind the curve.
Yeah.
And they jump on it.
You're doing it, so I've got to do it.
Yeah, exactly. It's an arms race, isn't it, in a sense then?
Yeah, I suppose so, but I'm still in the mindset that I can't really see where this has all come from, and I couldn't really get my head around the fact that people really, really wanted this. Because I think bikers are generally less... not open to tech, but it just doesn't seem to matter as much, and there's a lot of people who actively don't want it. They want simpler bikes.
I think, there's two camps though, aren't there? Because there are other people, and this is a perfect example of that, because even actually in the adventure world, you have people that are staunch advocates of take away all the rider aids, just give me a bike with nothing on it, don't want traction control, ABS, I just want to go and send it off-road. And then there are people here who have, I want everything on my... I want it basically to be a car on two wheels, which is the other camp of this as well. So, I don't know, there is obviously an audience for it, but...
Absolutely. Well, I think there's a little bit of background from Yamaha in this press release, which is quite interesting. I mean, for anyone who didn't hear the previous episode where we talked about it, effectively this allows you to run your bike in an automatic mode, or you can put it in manual and you use the buttons on the switchgear. So for all intents and purposes, it behaves like a DCT Honda dual clutch transmission, but it's just achieved in a simpler way because it's not a fundamentally massively different gearbox and clutch. You've just got electronic actuators on the clutch and the gearbox that kind of do it on your behalf. So you can either have the bike picking the gears or you can pick them yourself, but it's all done electronically, including the clutch, which will give you a sort of twist and go style riding experience where you don't have to pull the clutch in to stop or let it out to creep forward. So yeah, that's exactly what Yamaha have gone with as well. It sounds like it's going to behave in pretty much the same way as the BMW version, the KTM version that they were testing on a 1390 Super Adventure, I believe, at Hertzberg Rodeo, which is a hardcore enduro event. So yeah, that's why I think it probably lends itself to like adventure bikes, adventure tourers, and that sort of thing. That seems to be where a lot
you're going to stick on the
manufacturers
flagships, aren't you? It makes the most sense,
Yeah, totally. And stuff like the Africa Twin with the DCT has proven, you know, that there is a market for adventure bikes with this sort of riding experience. And I will say as well, from going to the Honda Adventure experience, we were both really impressed with it off-road. I thought I was going to hate it and want the clutch and the safety of the clutch. But you enjoyed it as well.
I think I preferred it, actually, in all honesty, on the day. Because, the hardest part, I suppose, what I went into it wondering was, how does it perform on the initial bite, right? Because that, I think, is the make or break moment if you're going to go and take it off-road. That could ruin your day. Because a lot of it you're going to be doing in first gear, second gear, just teasing the clutch ordinarily. So you need it to perform smoothly, and you need it to be predictable when you just roll on. And it really was. And I have people who are on the manual versions, and we'd be doing sections, and I must have been hitting it reasonably well, that were asking me advice, as in asking my bike advice. They're like, what gear did your bike choose on that section? Because obviously the smart bike, much smarter than me, was picking the right gear for whatever section we were doing. So people were asking me or my bike tips.
For recommendations, for gear selection. Yeah, I think both super impressed with it. But still, it just seems like I almost thought it was like a niche thing that maybe most people weren't ready for. Anyway, here's the Yamaha rationale in their press release as to why they think it will enhance the riding experience. So, number one, they say engagement. With a closer and more refined connection to the brain than the feet, the hands are one of the most tactile and powerful tools the human body has. Shifting by hand alone, as opposed to foot and hand combination, is not only quicker, but requires less thinking time, allowing you to hyper-focus on throttle and brake application, lean angle, body position, and tire grip levels to intensify the ride.
That's a really, really long explanation.
It basically saying shifting with your hands is better, quicker.
Yeah. They're basically saying your hands are closer to your head, therefore they are faster than your feet, which probably scientifically would be correct, but They're definitely more I was going to say dexterous. Is that the right?
Yeah.
Dexter. Yeah. It is dexterous.
Yeah. Oh, that's very true. But I wouldn't say I've ever run into any problems where I think that I wasn't able to shift gear because my foot.
Because it's too slow. Yeah.
Number 2, enjoyment. MT, which is the manual version, has been developed to amplify the fun of sports riding, maximising the power characteristics of our cross-plane concept engine designs and sportiest ride modes, and with the speed and precision of each shift more consistent than when using the latest quick shifter, the excitement and adrenaline of the fast gear changes in the sportiest of riding conditions take the thrill to the next level.
Well, it sounds
I felt
great.
like I had to do movie trailer voice.
Yeah, I think you do need that. Yeah.
Again, can't say that I've noticed any quick shifters being particularly sluggish.
No, that's fair. I mean, you've used quick shifters in the past.
I mean, they've probably got better over the years, but like it's never been a barrier to enjoyment. But no. I suppose it might have this real kind of quick snap to it. You know?
Maybe.
Number 3, exhilaration. As all our technological developments, Y-AMT was born from Jin-Ki Kano, which is our goal of providing you with the seductive exhilaration of becoming one with the machine. Now, this is where it starts getting a little bit racy, Tony.
Oh, hello. Yeah.
I know. Have you ever been one with your machine?
Not yet.
Have you felt that?
Yeah, no, there's still time. I think it'd burn.
That's too much information. That's why Y-AMT makes each ride even more fun and engaging, immersing you into a flow state where every movement feels natural and precise, fostering a true symbiosis with the bike. Y-AMT allows you to focus on throttle, braking and cornering. That's like where I draw the line.
It's Avatar. That's like taking your ponytail and sticking it into the fuel cap.
Mate.
And being one with
your
the machine. That's what I call it. I don't know what you call it.
More like a piggy tail.
Oh, you've seen it then. So yeah, I would say... do you know what I did? As you were sort of reading out their explanation, it did occur to me one small point, which is that both of us have ridden electric bikes, right? And the Zeros that we have ridden, I would say there is an exhilaration to it because it is uninterrupted acceleration, right? And that's one of the things with... It genuinely has its own place and value to it when you're on an electric and it is fully automatic and you just open the throttle and it just feels like it'll go to infinity. And that might be the same with this.
That's what's cool about DCT, dual clutch, because it's seamlessly, I've probably explained this so many times, but 2 sets of gears, first, third and fifth, and then second, fourth and sixth. And so the 2 clutches can blend between those 2 boxes and go up the box and then back down. And you get that seamless acceleration, which is brilliant. And I'd agree, it feels somewhat similar to like when you ride an electric bike and there are no interruptions. But this is ultimately a regular gearbox and clutch. And so I wonder how slick it can be with the electronics. Like, can they fine-tune it so much that it does feel almost uninterrupted? Or is it still going to have a little bit of like, like, you know, knocking down the revs a bit? Anyway, I'm sure we'll find out soon. I've got the e-clutch CB650R coming quite soon, so that'll give me some idea of what the clutch part of it's like. As for when any of these bikes with this technology, the BMW, the KTM and this Yamaha actually come to the market, it's not really clear because they're just saying they've got the tech in the works. They haven't said which bikes or anything like that, but I'm definitely looking forward to riding it. But in the meantime, to get a bit more of an understanding of, you know, that's Yamaha's take on why they think people will want it, I thought I'd put a community post out on the main Motorbob YouTube channel and ask who actually wants this. And these were the top comments, so the ones with the most likes. I think I've picked out 6. So 2 wheels are enough, says. Apparently Honda sells more DCT units wherever that option is available for certain models, like the Goldwing, Africa Twin, Adventure Sport, NT1100, which I've heard from Honda as well firsthand. So he says, I've got a few 2-wheelers, including a 125 scooter, which is the preferred means for in-town riding. I think an automatic motorbike would be better for such a job than a manual shift one. And even in the hairpins of the mountain roads, I sometimes find myself regretting no auto gearbox for the bikes I ride. In my honest opinion, there is nothing wrong with offering such an option. Also, even without trying one, the e-clutch seems great for leaving the possibility of using the lever. Oh yeah, you can do a bit of both. We will see, but it seems like the future. So I don't know, I like that. That's very open-minded, because having not even really tried it, 2 wheels are enough is saying I'll give it a go. And I'm open-minded, so I respect that stance. Simpleman1861 says motorcycle enthusiasts are going to start sounding like car guys, i.e. real motorcycle enthusiasts ride manual.
Yeah.
You know,
it's already getting that way a little bit.
There's a bit of snobbishness.
I think we sound that a little bit as well.
Do we?
Actually. Well, yeah, when we're sort of
toxic masculinity.
I guess if you want to label it that. But yeah, I would say there's a little being stuck in the past. Yeah, and there's kind of, like you said, there's an elitism of being like, oh, manual's the only way.
Are you a proper biker? Yeah, fair enough. Come on, let's open our minds, Tim, to new technology. Sunrise Jack 2709 says, I've had 2 DCT Hondas. Now, we're getting into the real experience here of owning a bike that has this auto manual mode, and I think there's a couple of opinions from that sort of background. One was an XADV, which is one of your favourite bikes. In fact, we got a great clip.
I sent you a clip the other day. I really want one, yeah.
Of you riding one through a Ford as well.
Yeah.
And going a little bit too fast, I think, and maybe sort of getting a bit of water in the engine. We'll put that clip on the screen now. We'll dig that one out. And also, we'll put that clip on the screen that you sent me of the guy that's stunting.
Yeah, really good, actually.
On an XADV. Anyway, sorry, Sunrise Jack says, I've had an XADV and now an NT1100. I'll never go back to traditional manual transmission again. The benefits are just overwhelmingly good. I sing the praises of DCT to anyone who'll listen. That's true. We're listening. A converted DCT disciple. DCT is the greatest innovation in motorcycling since ABS. I'm very happy but not surprised to see the further adoption of auto clutches and gearboxes in the motorcycle world. I mean, I think it's quite clear which side Sunrise Jack sits on there. But fair enough. I think there's a lot of people who have tried DCT like us, and we were surprised at how good it was. And the people who own it, I've rarely met anyone actually who's bought a DCT bike and said I hated it and I chopped it in. Is that true?
No, I can't say I've met any either. And yeah, in terms of sales, definitely, because when I was buying mine, it was actually really hard to find. Well, not really hard, but harder to find a manual. Yeah, my Africa Twin.
Hard to find a manual. Yeah, harder. Which you'd think would be the default choice. But Agnelvas, to answer the question who asked for it, I did. Just riding an automatic over a manual is so much relief to the hands and legs on a long tour, which is another angle as well. That kind of like, I don't think Yamaha mentioned that, but like, is it a little less fatiguing to ride an auto bike?
Can be.
Probably if you're doing serious miles, and that's why I think it's probably most appropriate. I think the town riding angle is a good one, but for adventure bikes, like real do it all rounders, probably it's going to fit in quite nicely there as well. Let these bikes go past.
Symphony of two strokes.
Cause I'm a loser 777. Oh, you don't have to say that. Come on.
Self-deprecating.
Might catch a lot of flack, but the DCT is a game changer for tight technical off-road trails, which firsthand would say we agree with that, and it maybe sounds a bit counterintuitive. Take that screw out. Says excited for this one, can't wait. So you, another open-minded biker. And then lastly, Hollow2788 says I have a 2016 Honda NC700X DCT. Like other comments, I will never go back to manual. I drive in the city the majority of the time for work, and nothing beats an auto in traffic. Friends who ride gave me so much shit for getting the DCT bike. They're the closed-minded, toxic bikers that we were talking about. There they are. But once I let them ride it, which is generous if they were giving you a lot of grief,
to be fair,
they loved it. They were surprised. Biggest thing they said is just enjoying the actual ride more, never worrying what gear or stalling in traffic. Isn't the whole point of riding to get more people into riding? It's one big community, and all those it's not a real bike or I never stalled people just need to lay off. I bet most of them have a quick shifter. All I can say is try it and you will be surprised. Plus the 70+ miles per gallon on my NC700 is amazing. Haha. Ride safe, everyone.
Thanks. I love the names that we've got here as well. Yeah, no, I agree. I think, if I was doing, do you know, that's the reason I was, when I was looking at the Africa Twin, because I do a lot of commuting, and it sounded like a great deal to me as well. I really wanted the DCT because of just sitting on your clutch the whole time when you're riding in, and it made a lot of sense to me then, and makes a lot of sense to me when you see people on XADVs as well. I had someone fly past me on one of them before because they really can shift. So yeah, it's a good choice. I think my use case would be town specifically, and then like you say, off-road if you want something to sort of take your hand and guide you through how to go off-road.